If you're tired of dealing with overexposed highlights in your photos, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to show you the latest AI tool by Retouch4me that mattifies images, or that tool that dims these highlights or these overly exposed highlights and hotspots on your photos. Yo, what's up my brother, what's up my sister? This is your boy Ntege again with yet another amazing video. Have you ever taken a perfect shot only to find out that the highlights are completely blown out? It's frustrating, right? Well, fear not, because there is a new AI tool in town. It is going to fix all those issues. Retouch4me has recently launched an AI tool that mattifies images with hotspots or overexposed highlights. It's a game changer in the photography industry, especially if you're doing a lot of people photography, and it is going to improve your editing. This AI tool is perfect for photographers who shoot weddings, those who do portraits, and any events that require a lot of editing. With this tool, you can easily fix overly exposed highlights and reduce that intensity in hotspots. Actually, it is the same tool you can use actually to get those Vanity Fair vibe kind of feel that don't seem to have like hotspots on them. Actually, if you want to download the image so that you can follow along, of course, click that link in the description below. Yes, now if you finish downloading the picture, the next thing you're going to do, I want you to get into the description of this particular video, and then you click into the description right here, and then you get into the second link. This is the second link. You're going to come and copy this, click actually onto this link just like that, and it is going to land you onto the Retouch4me page just right here, and you're going to be asked for a promo code. Now, in order for you to get to access this plugin, you're going to come here and copy this particular promo code, this one here, the Oscar Retouch 20, copy, and then you're going to come and paste it right here. Once you paste it right here, you click send, and after sending, you're going to land onto this page. Now, there are very many plugins, of course, of Premiere Pro and those ones you can use in your Photoshop, but this is what you're going to do. You're going to come and scroll down here, right here, and you're going to land onto the plugin. It is actually available for Windows and Mac. You download your version, install it, it will automatically get uploaded into your Photoshop. Even if you don't have Photoshop, you can still actually use this as a standalone software of its own. So that is the advantage you have. Pause this video right now, download this plugin, and let's begin doing this picture together. Okay? Go ahead and do it now. Done? Okay, now let's dive into this. Now, here is an image. This image was actually intentionally overexposed for that reason. When you look at the highlights are a bit burnt out. And what we are going to do using the Matiffier tool, we are going to bring back these highlights back to life. How are we going to do that? We're just going to come here, right here, and then just come into filter. You say Retouch4me, and you're going to say Matify. Now, definitely you have an option to choose, of course, whether it's a portrait or it is a half or it's a full picture. Now, that is the beautiful thing about Retouch4me. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave it. Let me choose and say it's a portrait, just like that, and I'm going to leave AI do its thing. So it is going to look out for all those highlights. Now, what we are going to do, you can even actually come and play with the blending here and the like, but we're not going to do that. I'm just going to come here into make mask so that I have this particular effect on its layer, so that I can reduce the opacity and flow in a way that I like. So I'm just going to come here and say apply. Now, guys, look at this. Let me show you. That's the before, that's the after. Before and after. Now, if I even want to mattify more, I can just come and duplicate even this layer further, and even duplicate it further, just to make the effect more intense. Okay, just like that. Guys, isn't that amazing? Let me just put these in a group so that you get to see them. Okay, you get to see the before and after. Look at this. That's the before, that's the after. Before and after. Guys, isn't that amazing how we remove all those hotspots from an image? I mean, this now is an image we can work with. And the good thing it does is that it detects even the skin color from the surrounding areas, and it is what it places all around. Because look at this. Look at how it has perfectly given me a beautiful a highlight that is not overly burnt out. Look at how it works with this nose hotspot. Okay, so it's up to you to reduce the opacity and flow on a particular image so that you get that matte-like kind of feel. Usually I don't want personally to kill all the highlights because of my style, but if you're a person who wants to have it typically mattified with no highlights, yes, you can actually just kill it and have that moody kind of Vanity Fair kind of feel to the whole image. Now, this is such a powerful tool. Let us try with a different image. Now, here we have a very challenging image. Now, this particular image was intentionally overexposed. That's for me to show you the power of this particular tool. So, what we are going to do first, I'm just going to come here into filter, and then I come into camera raw. Just right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come and pump down the exposure. This is a JPEG image. Of course, camera raw is going to do its thing like that. I'm going to pump down the highlights just a bit here. I think there is too much yellow. It looks very warm for me, so I'll just come and still pump down all this. And then I add in a bit of magenta, just a little bit. Of course, I can always go back into selective color and put the skin tones right. But for this tutorial, I won't go into those details. So I'm just going to come here and say, okay. Now we've done the first step of putting down our exposures. But despite all this, we still have these particular hotspots that we need, of course, to reduce. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Now we're just going to come here and pull this down, and we're going to rename this layer Matify. Still using, of course, Retouch4me and AI, we're going to bring back these particular, we're going to see what AI can give us, the power of this tool. So we come here and say Retouch4me, and we are going to say Matify. Remember, you can actually choose whether, when you get to this particular panel, you can choose whether it's a close-up, a portrait, or this, or a full shot. But in our case, this is a portrait, close-up portrait. So we are going to keep it at around here. And we are going to come here and say apply. Now, guys, look at this. I know it has somehow changed the color and the textures, but these are things, of course, we can bring back. I can actually steal texture from here and bring it back using frequency separation techniques. But look at this, guys. This is the before and that's the after. Before and after, guys. Isn't this amazing? In that AI can bring back these particular highlights. So I'm just going to come and reduce the opacity just a little bit here. Just like that, okay? And the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a screenshot of this particular image, yeah? So that I stamp of this particular image and just get some texture from here and just put it over here using frequency separation, okay? At least AI has helped us mattify by removing these overly lit highlights, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come here and create a stamp of this image. I'm just going to say Ctrl Alt Shift and E, yes, right there, and I'm going to duplicate this twice, and I'm going to rename this tone, and I'm going to rename this texture. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come into this tonal layer. I say filter, blur, Gaussian blur. So this texture that I'm going to clone here is the kind of texture that I'm going to, to make sure that is blurred out completely like that. So I'm just going to come here to bring back the texture layer, select it, and then I click onto it. I come here and say image, apply. You come here and say Of course, you're going to subtract like that, and then we choose the tonal layer just below here, right there, and then we're going to come here and say, okay, leave the scale at 2 and the offset at 128, just like that, and we're going to come here and say linear light. Okay, linear light. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to come with this texture layer, and I'm going to get my clone stamp. Okay, just like that, caps lock right there, and I'm just going to come and clone the texture. Oops, you know why it is getting reddish? I love the fact that it has turned reddish. It's because I'm selecting current layer and below. So let me just press Ctrl Z or Command Z on your just to go back. So I'm just going to make sure I have current layer selected. So I'm going to come here, press Alt on my keyboard to select texture from there, and I'm just going to come and clone it over here. Because the highlights that we have, what they did, they did not leave us with any over here. So I just put texture over here. Also going to come and do the same thing over here. I'm also going to steal texture from the nose here and just come and bring it over the nose highlight here, you see, and add the texture into those highlight zones that the Matiffier had filled in with color. Assuming we were to do a full portrait retouch on this, of course using frequency separation, I'll get my tool here, my brush tool. I put my feather at around 35, since it's an extra large image, and I come and begin doing, of course, my usual Gaussian blur, just by, I mean, look at this, guys. I'm going to show you the before and after, and I was amazed by how this AI tool removes these highlights in a very clever way. And this is actually an extreme. I don't think a trained photographer would really take such an image, but there are those situations when a client insists that they want a particular image. This is an extreme incident that really may not happen to you, but I did it just to show you how powerful this tool is in, you know, bringing back those particular highlights. Okay, I'm not going to do really that much editing. I won't even do banning and dodging onto this particular image. I just wanted to show you how this tool really works. And so let me just put this in a group and just to show you where we've come from and how this Matiffier thing has done wonders. Guys, look at this. That's the before and that's the after. Before and after. Before and... Guys, isn't this amazing? How an AI tool can turn such an image that was almost lost into at least an image that is presentable. If you're the kind that doesn't want to invest into your photography, I don't think you need this. But if you're a person who wants efficiency and don't want to take loads and loads of minutes in Photoshop, this is the tool for you. And if you want to get a 20% discount off this particular tool, of course, click the link in the description below and download the Matiffier tool. You're going to be super amazed. And the amazing thing about this particular tool is that you can even put it on a test drive and see whether you love the results. If you're not happy with the results, of course, don't buy it. But personally, from using this tool, man, I can't explain. This particular tool is a must-have for you, and I've used it, I've tested it, I really love it. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. If you've not yet subscribed to this channel, of course, take a minute, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one, and adios.